4 o'clock news, I'm Michaela Kamarek.
10-year warranty and 10-year capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Another 50,000 seniors will soon be given access to cheaper healthcare and other services. Both the federal government and Labor are promising to increase the income threshold for the seniors' health card. This means singles earning up to $90,000 and couples on $144,000 will be eligible from the 1st of July. National Seniors Chief Advocate Ian Henschke says there are many benefits.
One of the most important things to realise is that the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card carries with it a lot of benefits at a state level as well, depending on where you live. In terms of the main concessions, it means that you will be saving many thousands of dollars a year if you are a person that requires medicines.
Opposition leader Anthony Albanese is defending his housing policy, arguing a similar program is already being used by some states. 10,000 Australians would be able to apply for the Help to Buy scheme, in which an incoming Labor government would take a 40% stake in a property. Prospective homebuyers would have to earn at least $90,000 and show they can pay the rest of the mortgage. The Morrison government says the policy is confusing, but Mr Albanese argues it's already being used in other states.
WA have it, Tasmania increasing theirs. Premier Perrottet is looking at a similar policy of help to buy effectively, and the UK government under the Conservatives has it, Canada has it. This is a sensible plan.
3 elderly women have died and 257 more people remain in hospital with COVID. Another 3,143 cases have been reported in SA today, while federal Liberal MP James Stephens has tested positive and is in isolation for 7 days, disrupting his campaign to retain the seat of Sturt. Dog attacks on posties are at an all-time high. There have been 1,170 across the nation already this financial year, about 70 of them here in SA. Rob Clothier from Australia Post says they're also busier than ever.
For March, in Adelaide alone, we had a 23% increase in parcels, and this is not just our posties. I'm talking about our van drivers delivering parcels, going up to the door, knocking. So we're definitely going more and more to the front door than we did, say, 3 or 4 years ago.
The US House Speaker has led a congressional delegation to Ukraine's capital. Nancy Pelosi has met with President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kiev and reaffirmed her country's support for Ukraine. Speaking afterwards in Poland, Ms Pelosi says the talks went well.
Not only his courage and his leadership, but his detailed knowledge of every subject we brought up, of how the best way was to get food. Really, his knowledge detail was dazzling as it came to weapons. And we made great progress because of that.
Now turning to 5AA Sport. Brodie Smith and Ned McHenry were both at Crows training today after taking heavy hits on the weekend against GWS. They'll sit out round 8 against Carlton on Sunday due to concussion protocols, while the Power are hoping to keep their winning run going against the Bulldogs on Friday night. Meanwhile, Melbourne has more in the tank, according to Premiership defender Stephen May. The Demons are undefeated from the first 7 rounds, but none of the teams they've beaten are in the top 8. May says they haven't reached their potential just yet.
It's been good to not play as well as we should and still get the wins. It sort of feels like a loss sometimes, but there's been other games where we've played really well and haven't been able to convert and only win by a small margin as well. So I think the coaches have been really consistent in the way they review the games based on the method rather than the final score.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Paradise, Burst Watermain Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works on Main South Road near Malpas Road, affecting both directions, speeds of 25. Woodville Park works on Port Road near Kilkenny Road, heading citybound, 1 lane closed, speeds at 40. And we're slow at the moment, Lower North East Road, Glenburn Road to Heading Avenue. Cameras, Anzac Highway, Glenelg East, Fulham Park Drive at Lockleys. Need a healthy snack on the go? Jazz apples are crisp, sweet and delicious. Australian grown, look for the blue Jazz sticker at your local supermarket or grocer. Always refreshing. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy this afternoon, 22. A late shower or 2 tomorrow, 23. Wednesday showers 16 and a shower or 2 on Thursday, a top of 16. Right now it's 21. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A wild car chase across Adelaide.
No! Oh no!
See our exclusive dashcam vision. a game changer for Australian travellers as Qantas announces the world's longest non-stop flights. And mortgage rates set to rise. We reveal the Adelaide suburbs that will be the hardest hit. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
This is Rowey's Sports Show. Stephen Rowe
and Leith Forrest.
Siren sounds and the Giants have smashed from pillar to post the Crows, home by 59 points, and a lot of questions to be answered during the week.
Robbie Gray settles himself, and Robbie Gray has kicked it behind.
He's going to win it
it's
for him.
34 seconds remaining, and Port Adelaide have hit the front.
Port Adelaide win a thriller in Cairns by a point, and maybe it validates their form. Maybe they're back.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
It was some sort of weekend. Stephen Rowe, good afternoon.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with that opener, but boy, I liked it. Thanks, Leith. Look, a great win by Port. Slogged out a 1-point win in Cairns. Had everything against them, we know that. They've got injuries, conditions, flights, but found a way to win. We'll cover that with Timmy G after 4:30. So, Port supporters, get on the blower. Are you back in Can We Trust?
Have they got a pulse?
They
heard it in the opener. There's just a little bit.
We'll get to that. Crows played first. So let's start here. Who got seduced by the Crows' form, like me? Who actually conned themselves into thinking that they're possibly a top 8 team? I opened the call with Wilds and Bone. Not Bone. Bone was last week. Bix, we'll have him on after 5. With, hey, boys, they win this, they're top 8. I wanted to give myself an uppercut. Who, like me, thought they could match the Giants' midfield with the class of Kelly? Can he play? Whitfield, I mean, let's do Green times 2, Canelio and Cumming and co. Me, like the Crows, and most of us, I think we got ahead of ourselves.
Got a bit to learn still when it comes to, I mentioned expectation. There's a lot of noise around about us being favourites in this game of footy, and that comes when you're playing good footy for a period of time. You mentioned our last month had been pretty good in that area. We felt that as well. We had some belief. We felt like we were trending in the right direction. We still do. And we sat as a group post-game and talked through that, and in the end you come to, are we able to deal with that expectations of being favourites?
Got a bit seduced.
Oh my goodness. We'll ask Murph that with Bix after 5. Don't miss it. Will's told me to have a good look in the mirror Sunday morning, and I got to tell you, I didn't like what I looked at. I didn't like the reflection that came back. I want to give myself another uppercut.
Oh, boy.
But 12 months on, just look at that. 12 months on. Crows went into that same game 3-3, lost by 67 points, the same way to the Giants. Speed of ball movement, leg speed, midfield, ruck, slaughtered. So that's the disappointment. It's the same problems. The ruck connection to the midfielders, the midfield class, contested ball at half-time. Giants were plus 42. It's close to a record. Again, Bix will let us know. They won it by 27. Turnovers. Go and have a look at the first quarter. Look at the first 3 inside 50 kicks. Just go and have... Now, they hit Tex and 3 goals. It's a different story. Leg speed, skill by foot... I mean, how many kicks inside 50 missed the target for the entire game? Well, I'll tell you. They had 3 marks inside 50 to 17. 3 to 17.
Yeah.
GWS Giants just gave them, well, I think the word's a clinic. It was an absolute clinic. VB spoke at today's presser, agreed.
Definitely elements of our game that we moved away from, which we're doing really, really well the previous few weeks to that. And it's going to be a really good, I guess, learning experience for our group. If we move away from just some little things in our game, how it can have a big effect on the outcome. And especially when a team like the Giants are able to play the way that they do. They brought the heat, slick with their ball movement with their hands, and when you're just off and you don't execute as well as you need to, then you get taught a nice little lesson in that first half in particular.
70 plus turnovers.
Oh my God.
70.
You can't win games of footy like that.
No.
Keep the sip and save text coming in. Here's this one from Jeremy. I knew you playing the Can You Feel It would jinx us. So what were you feeling at half time, Ro? I bet. Well, I'm not going to finish that, Jeremy. I mean, please.
A few people were asking that over the weekend. They're not feeling a thing at half time. There was no feeling.
Yeah.
It was absolute flatline.
Should I burn it?
No,
Is it
keep going.
dead?
Hey, Port have just breathed breathe some
it's
life
for
into
both
it.
teams. It is. Well, Port, I think they have turned the corner. If you have a look at the body of work over the last fortnight, if the showdown loss was a season-defining loss, and we said that, well, then the St Kilda win is a season-defining win. There's no question. But to start so poorly, but then to show up and then as a group get that connection and that commitment, and they are connected and committed to Kent. That's number one. You don't come back and do that away when you're 1-5 if you're not absolutely connected. And their belief, fight and competitive spirit just showed through. To grind out that win, I thought it was superb.
It's a small margins game, it always has. But we've lost 2 games by less than a kick, roughly, and we've won a game now by. So when you're in tight games, they can make a massive difference. And we keep turning up. You're probably going to get one to go your way at some stage. And tonight we worked pretty hard to get this win and get things going the way they are now.
Well, they've won 2. Western Bulldogs Friday. Talk about that with Timmy G as well. What about Robbie? Robbie Gray, he's basically on one leg.
Yeah.
He got subbed out last week.
He did.
Was just at the 11th hour. Well, you're right to go. It's a soft deck. You'll be fine, young man. He went into the game, as we said, under an injury crowd. He is the definition of a match winner.
Mm-hmm.
He is the definition of a match winner. Here's Monty.
He's a remarkable person, remarkable player. Again, go back to that, just complete understanding of his game and what the game requires. And he was there when we needed him. He would be the first one to say it wasn't his biggest game. But if you ask the 2 coaches on the night who had the influence when it mattered, it'd be a pretty easy one.
So how many times in clutch moments has Robbie delivered? Yeah. Now, we were in the sport room thinking about this. I remember the Carlton win after the siren, as you do. Kicked the goal after the siren. There's been at least 4 showdowns he's won. 2017 was the Ryder degree, that inside 50 goal,
Would
the
you
genius.
like to hear it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ryder over the back, path of Robbie Gray. He's a superstar for the power. He goes long. Has it got the legs? Yes! Robbie Gray's kicked a big goal. And the power on the cusp of a great victory.
St Kilda fans across the weekend had nightmares again. He's done it to us again.
And remember the game last year, Roddy Thilthorpe in the dying seconds kicks a goal over his head. They win by 6 points. Whoever did that deal, no amount of money can pay for 4 points. No. It's just a joke. The lads of Footy Genius just finishing up with Robbie Gray. Intense moments. I don't reckon there's anyone better.
No.
I honestly don't. I look and I know he's one of my favourites. If Robbie didn't play that game, they lose. If Robbie didn't play that game, they lose. Have you say about that? Crows, were you seduced like me and Port? Are you back? Have you turned the corner? Is your season alive? Would love to take your calls. 822 300 00. Have we got a $100 Cheesecake Shop voucher for that?
We have incredible prizes to give away. You're right. We do have the $100 voucher. Mother's Day, this coming Sunday. The perfect gift is the piece of cake from the Cheesecake Shop. Order online today. We've got a treat for you coming up very shortly. Can't say too much. Coming up very shortly.
Here's one. Row. AFL sent St Kilda to Shanghai, so it's 1-1, you knob. Well, Kev, St Kilda got paid to play in Shanghai. I reckon they signed a 3-year deal, something like $200,000 or $300,000 a year. The Vic government helped assist them with that. No, Kev, you're wrong. The Crows got told to go there last year. Port got told to go there this year in a fixture, and to play a game at the end of their wet season at night is a joke. That wasn't a spectacle. That was an absolute joke, that game.
Sue on the text says, I was at the Adelaide Oval. It was a total waste of a day. And someone said, Rowey, you were the only Richard Cranium who thought that the Crows were top 8 material.
Hang on. Bix agreed with me. He tipped them before the game. A lot of people did. Come on, I'm not on my Pat Malone there. Happy to take it. We have another AFL test case for the bump. If you haven't seen this, Google it or listen in here. Blue, this is one of your boys, Carlton lad, Lewis Young, Adelaide lad.
Adelaide
well. Was he ex-Bulldogs? I think he was.
Prospect, yep.
He pulls up, if you like, on a 50-50 ball. This is late in the last quarter, so there's no malice, no intent. It's a 50-50 ball. His opponent reached for the ball. His opponent was Zerha.
Cam Zerha.
Yep. Zerha. They're both pretty strong lads. And Young braced for contact, and he bumps him. He doesn't bump him in the head, but he actually bumps him. Have a listen.
He's still going at it. You know he'll go straight ahead. Lights out. That's got him right down the middle and high, according to the umpire. Well, I don't think it was.
No. Look, standing from down here, I don't think that was against Young there, guys. I think Zerha was just looking for a bit of contact, a bit of frustration. I don't think Young's got anything to worry about there.
Good one, Moons.
So here it is. MRO classed it as careless conduct, high impact, body contact. So it's a 1 week suspension. Boom. Zerha went off because he hurt his shoulder, a little bit of a stinger, came on and played the rest of the game. So no injury, no seriousness about it, no malice, no intent. Paddy Ryder got 2 weeks before. He just come back from a 2 week suspension. He literally didn't stop, put his arms up. The bloke ran in him, but he got him high, got him in the head.
Correct.
2 weeks. This one here, if Carlton lose this case, then I know I've said this, 100 times, but the bump's dead.
It is absolutely dead.
If he gets a game for this, the bump is physically dead. Here's another thing I want to bring up. Do we need a new MRO? Because Michael Christian, God love him, ripper fella. I mean, I'm not saying he's done a good or bad job, but he's been there since 2017. This is his 6th season. There seems to be a lot of challenges, cases, tribunal. I know what the people are going to say. Well, Rowey, Michael Christian, he's independent. Well, no, he's not. The AFL sit over his shoulder. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I just wonder if we need another new MRO or a new system. Honestly, go and have a look at it. If Lewis Young gets a game for this, well, then I know I've said it 1,000 times. The bump is brown bread. It is dead. It is Gonski. It's see you later, alligator. It is toast. It's a joke.
Some people are saying it's similar to the Mitch Robinson one on Xavier Dersma. It's different because he doesn't get him in the head. He gets him in the shoulder.
In the shoulder.
If you cannot bump a bloke in the shoulder, it is dead. The bump. You can't bump at all. Have your say on that. 8223 the Cheesecake Shop, $100 voucher. You will be the apple of Mum's eye this Mother's Day if you win that. We've got the Uggs to you, thanks to Mary and Vlas. That's for our text message of the day. So go for that, the superior Australian Uggs. And we've also got Port Adelaide locker room doubles to give away. So a big show, plenty of footy on the way. Tim Ginniver, Mark Bickley. We'll also catch up with Lockie Murphy from the Crows and Brett Montgomery from Port Adelaide. Your call's next at 4:17.
9 News, made in Adelaide, for Adelaide. Weekdays at 5.
First in Adelaide's 9 News at 5.
Nightly at 6.
Good evening, one of South Australia's.
See the full story, live and local. 9 News.
G'day, South Australia. The Cheats here. Over the years, I've seen some great South Australian teams, but the best has to be the team from BL Shipway, who I've known for over 30 years. They've been looking after the state's hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953. You can find them on Richmond Road with stock on hand from quality brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Hydac and Enerpac. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 70% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. There's a catalogue full of prizes, but with over 70% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight and get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166.
So, why go with NRG Solar?
The solar system installed by NRG Solar has made us change our habits in relation to the use of electricity. We followed the advice to use most of the electricity, like the aircon, during the day. And so I think that's a way of forcing the prices down as well. We have solar monitoring, and I consult it most every day. And it's been very useful to see the trends.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
G'day, it's Jared for Southern Mitsubishi. Thinking Mitsubishi or servicing your existing car? Southern Mitsubishi stock the full range, all designed to thrill. And they can service any make or model. 147 Main South Road, Morphett Vale. Driven by Australian Motors. LVD 80.
4:20. Hey, Mother's Day is this Sunday. And here's a hot tip from Steamore. Last minute chockies, stolen flowers from over the fence. Or, as you drive down the road, just pop in there and just get some of those. Yeah. What are those white things? Chrysanthemums or whatever they're called?
Not sure.
Oh, Leith, you're nodding your head.
I wish I was on a gardening show.
Burn all of them. That's never lasted and never will. No. So this year, do Mum a solid. Get a limited edition Black Forest cake from the Cheesecake Shop. We have one here.
Correct. So if you're watching our live stream now, Cancer Council SA, Facebook or YouTube, you can see the cheesecake in question right there.
It's a chocolate sponge, fresh cream, sour cherries, choc glaze, cherries on top, plus a sprinkle of rose petals and gold dust. Honestly, this is the great thing about it. It comes in a box, so it's already gift wrapped, the perfect Mother's Day gift. is a piece of cake from the Cheesecake Shop. What I love as well is you can go halves, you can go quarters.
Correct.
Tradies actually pop in there. They get their Farmers Union iced coffee. I get myself a little cheesecake.
Bang.
What's your favourite again?
I love the American baked cheesecake. The original and the best.
Personally, Esro, I'll have any of them. They're just superb. Any of them. Have you got one there for me now? What's
Well,
that
we
one?
do, because the script says, I reckon I could manage a quarter by myself. So we thought, well, challenge accepted. What do you got, Sam?
Well, we've got the Belgian white mud cake, Rowey. Now, this looks exceptional, so you're going to down that.
Again,
So if you're on the 5AA Facebook,
correct.
you watch
Have a
me
look.
block the what.
Facebook and YouTube. Here we go.
The perfect cheesecake shop gift for
Look at
your
that.
Mother's
Does
Day.
look good, Lee. That's a good looking cheesecake.
Gee, I needed a jackhammer to do that
Okay,
because
go.
it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
The
Ooh.
chocolate is thick.
Get it in the gob.
They don't.
All right.
What do you mean? Get it in your gob?
People love to hear you eating on air. Go.
Oh boy, well we.
While you're eating,
What a gift, but for Mother's Day, it's so easy.
Well,
Cheesecake
and
shop.
So easy. Pull in,
No, love
grab
it.
your cheesecake, and away you go. It is already in a box. It's already gift wrapped. Keep eating. The perfect Mother's Day gift is a piece of
save
cake
you some.
from the Cheesecake Shop. You can order online. If there's any left, get it from your favourite delivery partner.
Piers Morgan joins Sky News Australia.
That's right, Piers Morgan Uncensored. It's my new show where people can speak their mind.
Sorry, Piers, some people don't identify as people.
It's a place for big opinions.
Sorry, that's fattest.
For meaty debates.
Offensive for vegans.
Well, it's gone nuts.
Nuts could be sexist and offensive.
Piers Morgan Uncensored, Tuesday to Friday, 8:30 p.m. on Sky News Australia. Watch on Foxtel, stream on Flash.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
This is Rowey's Sport Show.
22 minutes after 4. Keep eating the cheesecake. A lot of
Man.
text messages coming through trying to win the Uggs to you. This one from Mick says, Rowey, I blame the Crows' loss on Michael, on Randy, and on Jackie Jackson because every time I hear that song, it causes me nightmares when I hear the chorus.
It's out.
Rowey, you sound like a very angry man. You got to chill. It's just a game, says Pat.
Yeah, true, Pat.
Disappointing game, though. Alex from Croydon, guys, the game at Cairns was bad enough, but did they have to get the cameraman from the local pub? It was ridiculous. Not a happy fan.
That is a very good text.
Wasn't a great
It was
night.
a joke.
All round.
The cameraman.
Cake for comment, says Charlie. Absolutely. And enjoying that cheesecake too,
Oh, yeah,
as we
love 'em.
speak, as
Mother's
you should.
Day this Sunday.
Correct. Let's check out the traffic before we get to your calls. Here's what's happening on the roads.
At Edinburgh, smash on West Avenue at Sturton Road, causing delays in both directions. Paradise burst Watermain Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works on Main South Road near Malpas Road, affecting both directions, speeds at 25, and getting busy South Road near Anzac Highway. Cameras light past Tanunda and Military Road at Westlake Shore. Treat your mum this Mother's Day with Nespresso's cafe-style coffee. Save up to $100 when you purchase an Espresso Viccio coffee machine. Exceptions and T's and C's apply. Nespresso, what else? Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
$100 Cheesecake Shop voucher for our best caller.
Hello, Ange.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Look, I just think, if we look back in Port's first few games, I mean, it was semi-competitive against Brisbane. We should have beat the Crows. So, the injuries that we've got, I'm not making excuses, but full strength, we probably could have won against the Crows. So we wouldn't have been as bad as what we were. Yes, it was a great slug up at Kazali, but we can't keep playing games in the cow paddock, though. You know what I mean? That was terrible.
And it was.
also-
It's not fair. We'll speak to Brett Montgomery just before 5 o'clock. The thing about that game was they started poorly again. I thought St Kilda by how long? What was it? They only got 2 points in the first quarter, Port. I mean, they were all over them.
I think this Friday night's game will let us know exactly where we are against the Bulldogs. I think we'll be competitive, but we need to get a win. It's my birthday Saturday, boys, so
happy
hopefully they'll get a
birthday.
win for me, eh?
We'll go get yourself a cheesecake and then take it to Mum. Hello, Scotty.
G'day, Rowey. How are you? Haven't rung you for ages.
You're up at Roxby, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I am indeed. But listen, I rang for 2 points. The first one is that game on bloody Saturday night. That was appalling. That's the worst game of footy I've seen in a while.
Oh.
But the main point is this: these Vics are destroying our great game. I've got a question. It's a serious question because I'm a level 2 coach.
Mm-hmm.
In modified rules
Oh, say that again, Scotty. Just repeat that. You just dropped out right at the critical point there.
in modified rules under 8s and under 10s, where there's no tackling, do they still have the rules where 2 bumps counts as a tackle when it's holding the ball? If so, then as a level 2 coach, I have to teach my lads and my girls to tuck their elbow in, keep their wing down, and protect themselves. If these Vics are serious about having young people continuing to play this great game of ours, then they've seriously got to have a fair dinkum look at themselves and stop this desire to remove contact from our sport.
Well, they are. There is a desire. There's no question about that, Scott. You must see it exactly the same as me. Just back to that game, and again, we'll talk to Timmy G after the break. St Kilda kicked 4 goals 18. There was a stage where they kicked 10 points in a row. Port Adelaide kicked 5 goals 13, so it was 9 goals 31. Anybody that thinks that's a spectacle... Now I know it's great for the upper Queensland, far north Queenslanders. Brilliant for them. And St Kilda win, I guess. They get 500, 600,000 in the tin tank. What about Crows last year in Port this year?
I know. Well, 2 goals 15 after quarter time.
Oh.
That's not a spectacle. And if you played that at another ground in Melbourne, you could argue you don't kick that and you don't lose the game.
Alex from Gilbert, a great text, Sip and Save text, got a $100 cheesecake shop voucher. Ro, it was you that said the Crows are the best team out of the 8. You're the only one that got ahead of yourself. And Alex, that's why I'm giving myself an uppercut.
Yeah.
I did get seduced, and I think I conned myself.
Well,
a lot of people are saying everybody in the advertiser, Tipster, picked the Crows.
Just saw that.
So they were all seduced.
Everyone
you're
got
right.
seduced.
Were you seduced?
No, not as much as you. I thought they were going well. I didn't see that coming. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
I embarrassed myself this week.
They didn't have a contested mark inside 50 or any mark inside 50 until midway through the third quarter when Tex got one.
Well, it was 1. It was 1 to 14. So 14 marks inside 50 to GWS, 1 to the Crows. At the end of the game, it was 17-3. Junk time, they got a couple. But have a look. If you want to see the Crows' woes, just track this one thing. The last kick inside 50. Just track it.
Yep. Poor Taylor. If that was a restaurant, you wouldn't accept that service.
No.
You'd walk out. We're going to take a break. Tim Ginniver on the other side. Port Adelaide fans, you can have your say. We'll hear from Monty, live from Alberton. Bix is here. Lockie Murphy is going to join us. And some great news too if you lug rugby union. Later in the show,
great story.
The Wallabies are coming back.
Yeah, they are.
FIVEAA breakfast.
Kids' vaccination rates haven't progressed to the level of the state government's liking. Chris Picton is the Minister for Health.
What do you think's holding people back on this front, Minister?
For those remaining 44% of kids, I think that there's a combination of factors. I think clearly there's a lot of kids who have now had COVID.
Informing Adelaide.
There's clearly misinformation out there, which is always a factor as well.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive Officer of Western Hospital at Henley Beach. Western Hospital is a proud sponsor of our local sporting clubs. We also assist in providing sports injury management through our GP clinic and the many services offered by our orthopaedic surgeons, physicians, physiotherapists and radiology department. If you have a sporting injury or you're just seeking a second medical opinion, visit Western Hospital, your one-stop healthcare hub. westernhospital.com.au. Your hospital that cares.
You've heard of craft beers, sour beers, hoppy beers, malty beers, wild yeast beers, Rolling Stone beers, Indian pale beers and homebrew beers. But do you ever want just beer? Every Friday at 7:22, Just Beer is just $5. And for just $5, it's always just as cold, just as frothy, and just as tasty. Just like always. Just a pub the way it's meant to be, with classic favourites on tap for just $5 every Friday. Visit 722 Bar and Bistro, Port Road, Beverley.
We open our doors to people we trust and care about. And for over 85 years, South Australians have been opening their doors to Rest Haven. In turn, we've been opening doors to an easier, better life at home. From personal care to help with the shopping and social outings, you'll welcome the care that Rest Haven brings.
You Installer Kitchen's May Day Super Sale is on this week only with 20% off everything. Make your project ideas a reality with custom-sized pre-assembled quality cabinetry delivered to your door. Measure up, sketch your floor plan, then head into a showroom at Modbury, Glandore, Norwood, Lonsdale and Churchill Centre, or try our 3D planner online. Don't miss 20% off everything at You Installer Kitchen's May Day Super Sale. Till this Saturday only. You Installer Kitchens, the complete DIY kitchen solution. Conditions apply.
Booze Brothers, beat the others cold.
At Booze Brothers, you'll always find something for Mum. Make her day sparkle with bubbles, boutique wines, small batch handmade SA gin, or a splash of pink rosé. Find it all and more in-store or online at Booze Brothers, the Umley, Avenues Tavern, Mile End Hotel, the Duck Inn, and online. Booze Brothers, making mums happy for almost 40 years. Booze Brothers.
Beat the others cold. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamareg. Daily COVID case numbers in SA remain steady, with just over 3,000 infections reported today and another 3 deaths. Another 50,000 seniors will have access to cheaper healthcare no matter the result of this month's election. Qantas has announced it will purchase 12 Airbus A350s to supply new non-stop routes to global cities, and the Melbourne Football Club is adopting a different name for the AFL's Indigenous rounds in a few weeks' time. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Edinburgh, a smash on West Avenue at Sturton Road causing delays in both directions. Paradise burst Watermain Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldingo works on Main South Road near Malpas Road, affecting both directions, speeds of 25, and getting busy South Road near Anzac Highway. Cameras light past Tanunda and Military Road at Westlake Shore. Treat your mum this Mother's Day with Nespresso's cafe-style coffee. Save up to $100 when you purchase an Espresso Vituro coffee machine. Exceptions and T's and C's apply. Nespresso, what else? Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 13. Showers tomorrow, 23. Right now it's 21. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA-approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey's Sport Show.
28 minutes to 5. Rowey's like Santa. He's got so many gifts to give away. Our best caller today, $100 voucher to the Cheesecake Shop. Perfect Mother's Day gift.
Oh.
And our best text, Uggs to you, $100 voucher. Go and see Mary and Vlas. They're Crows fans. They'll be a bit flat. You can cheer them up. Corner of Granger and Frederick Road at Seaton, the superior handcrafted Ugg boots. Port Adelaide fans, if you'd like to have your say, 8223 0000 is our number. You might be up and about like our next guest. You can see every AFL game live and loud at the amazing sports bar at the Lakes Hotel. It's a man who brings his own intro.
Tim Ginnivan.
Timmy G! Timmy G!
He's live from Cairns. Timmy, how are you?
G'day, Rowey. How are you, mate? That song always makes me laugh.
Well, it's good, and we like that. 1 point win. You were there. What did you think?
Oh, mate, I'm still here because I love it so much, and I'm enjoying the basking of the glory of the 1 point win. It's been phenomenal. But look, what a night! It was quite a tough game. I mean, and I was just saying earlier to some people here at Cairns, because I'm obviously being mobbed by an enormous amount of people that I normally see at the Lakes Hotel who are up here at the moment talking to me. But I said to them, I think we're going to get the scheduling right now. Crows played Bulldogs in Ballarat last week in April. That was smart. I went and did 2 Port games against the Bulldogs in Ballarat in August. Sub-zero conditions, hail came through sideways, just ridiculous. So they got it right this year. But I think this game has to be played in July when it's beautiful and clear, because it was so greasy. And when I say that, we were lucky. The rain held off for the night. But I'm telling you, it was so greasy on that oval that it was very difficult to manage the football, except a bloke called Robbie Gray.
Oh, I just did a big thing on him, Tim. He kicked 2 of 5. He kicked the winning point. He had ball in hand. In the heat of the battle, in the dying seconds of games, when you need brilliance, you need a cool head, experience, and all those things, enter Robbie Gray. Time and time again.
Well, we actually said that he kicked the point on purpose.
Okay.
We reckon he did it on purpose to tease them and just have a 1 point win rather than 6. But that's how good he is. I was so close to him in this moment in the third quarter when we got back into the game, and he trapped this football that it was an awkward ball. It came in end on end, you name it, hit the greasy deck, and he read it so well, trapped it, gave it off like lightning, and we get an opportunity to go, and you just go, that's why he's a class above.
Port again came out the box like a flattened cane toad. The Saints were 2-3 to 2 points. No, Timmy, we got Brett Montgomery after the break. Their starts the last month have been diabolical.
Well, I think it goes even further back than that, Robbie. I think the last 11 games of 2021, only won 3 first quarters. It is phenomenal. And I was sitting there with, obviously a group of Port Adelaide fanatics, and I said, I'm sorry, but we are perennial slow starters. But St Kilda didn't put us away.
No.
They only kicked the 2 goals. Probably should have been up by a lot more because of their dominance, but they didn't put us away. After that, I've got to say, we were probably even in the second quarter, and then third quarter, I thought that's when the game changed and we really changed momentum. But you can't afford that slow starting all the time, because what happens, as we saw in the prelim last year, if they get too big a start, it's too big a margin to use up so many petrol tickets to get back.
Yeah. Ken Hinkley, post-match, spoke about Aliir and Ollie. Have a listen.
Well, he's obviously been really important since he's been at our footy club, and he's had a significant injury already this year. He's had surgery and it's taken a little while to get going and get back. But clearly we're a better team when Aliir's in our team. And when we defend as a group, and we defended as a group tonight, and Aliir gets to mop up a bit of that work really. So I'm sure he'd be sitting in there thanking his teammates for what they do for him. Yeah, he's been building. He's had some interruptions. He's had a significant issue with his heart, so he's been fantastic for us the way he started to build. And I thought last week in the second half particularly, Ollie started to really motor, and the conditions tonight are made for Ollie a bit, so makes it okay.
Well, that first half, Aliir kept Port in the game, and then the second half, Ollie's bullocking made them and helped them win the game. They were incredible, those two.
That's spot on, and I think what Ken's basically saying there is if the rest of the team do their role, he's able to peel off and take those intercept marks. And that, I think, at times when we've been exposed by lack of pressure and quick movement into our opposition forward line, that's when Aliir isn't able to play the role that he wants to play. And that, unfortunately, has brought us undone. So that was, I think it's a very fair assessment. But as far as Ollie goes, weren't those conditions built for him? He was just going to keep bullocking and getting in and winning the footy and keep it going. But I've got to take my hat off too. I thought Ryan Burton was absolutely terrific. I think he's having his best year for Port Adelaide, and Dan Houston is probably up there as well. Dan's been very consistent for Port and such a class act.
Yeah. Do you think they've turned the corner? Have you got the confidence in them moving into the Bulldogs game this Friday? So the second half against Carlton, 2 wins in a row. Are you confident or getting more confident, Tim?
Oh, absolutely. What happens with any... I remember talking to you the night of the showdown when the Crows won after the siren. I said, small wins just make the difference in your confidence level. And Port Adelaide couldn't buy a win. For 5 rounds, they couldn't buy one. And here, they've been able to sneak an incredible victory against a side that was really in form, St Kilda. And, we knew we were going to probably be up against it as far as Paddy Ryder versus Sam Hayes. So you knew you were up against it, yet they found a way to win. That just builds your confidence. And that, we had to work on the first W, got that last week, you beauty, and they've been able to steal one, which was an outstanding win. And now you go into the Bulldogs game Friday night and you go, well, actually, looking back 5 weeks ago, you go, there's no way we could win it. Now you're going, we're a big chance.
Yeah, got to get the starts right. You look at the prelim, 7 goals to 2 goals. The game was over.
Yep.
I've got Brett Montgomery after the break because you're up at Cairns. What do you want me to put to him about the starts? Because you give them a start again, you're not going to catch them.
Yeah, what I would probably say is, do you need to do something different? Do you actually need to maybe put and I heard a lady say it earlier today, do you need to put the packer-whackers on, which is the defibrillator, and just go whack before the game? Yeah, exactly, for the heart attacks. You've got to, get a spark going for that first quarter, because it just seems to be a perennial problem. And if you're not doing something different in your warm-up or your preparation, then you're probably going to keep getting the same result. So maybe put to him, do you need to change something in the pre-game to make sure you get a good start? Because whatever you're doing, not working, because the stats say you're not.
Yeah. Round 7, your 2 wins, 5 losses. Bulldogs this Friday. North, well, they're perennial losers at the moment. Cats away is always tough than Bombers. Could you possibly, I know you don't like looking too far ahead, but I'll put it to you, you could be 5 wins, 6 losses at the halfway mark. Right in the hunt, Tim. You need to be.
which would be an incredible recovery.
Yes.
And yes, I know what you're saying. It's difficult to look forward and think you're going to be able to do this and do that. But look, they had to get the first win. They've been able to do that. They've had what I think a confidence-building win here in Cairns. So now it's about, okay, beat Bulldogs. The one that you probably look at and you go, gee whiz, that's a big task. But you just don't know. You just don't know when you've got that confidence. Geelong, Fremantle beat them. Now, how many years would it have been since Fremantle beat Geelong on their home deck?
Yes.
It would be phenomenal. Now, they're probably in pretty good nick, but if Port keep building their confidence, you are a chance. And that's the belief system that they've got to build back because they lost it for 5 weeks where they just couldn't buy a win.
Okay. Hopefully Mitch Georgiadis' calf's okay. Again, we'll speak about Monty with that. Now, there's a lot of crocs up there, and they like little fellas like you, Tim, so don't walk too close to any water.
Bite size.
Well, believe me, I have never been a water baby, quite frankly, because when we used to do pre-season, we used to have to swim across West Lakes. The only reason I would do that is to go to the Lakes Hotel. But I actually can't friggin' swim either. Yeah. So what would happen is everybody would run into the water to begin the swim, and I would tiptoe in with a life vest on. So let me tell you, I'm not going near the water here because you're dead right, mate. They would snap me up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, Timmy, safe travels back. We'll see you toward the end of the week.
See you, Timmy.
Good man. He's very happy there, and so he should be. His team won by a point. See every AFL game live and loud in the amazing sport bar. It's at the Lakes Hotel, West Lakes. This pub has been around for well over 30 years.
The best.
Met little Jo Ma there. I mean, it's just,
Is that right?
Yeah, she had the little leopard skin number.
Is that right?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
It should be heritage listed for that alone.
It may very well be. So I love the Lakes Hotel, West Lakes. There's a huge 5-metre LED super screen tab, great beers on tap, and of course, views of the lake. Great pub. Bring us Timmy G.
Hey, just quickly before we get to the locker room, some good news for Port Adelaide too. Charlie Dixon expected to make his return to the SNFL this weekend.
We thought so.
Charlie could be back this weekend.
Okay.
You mentioned Mitch Georgiades, so he'll be assessed on that calf. Miles Bergman's 2 weeks away with the virus. Orazio Fantasia is 2 weeks away, which is good news with his knee. Scotty Lysander, as we know, still 12 weeks. Trent McKenzie is 6 weeks, and Josh Sin is a TBC with his groin. So some of the soldiers are coming back.
That's a big out for Western Hospital. That's a big out.
You're getting some players back, though, just at the right time. So we'll see how that all works out. If you're a Port Adelaide fan and you'd like to see the Bulldogs in that match, Rowey and Tim spoke about the Western Bulldogs. Bit of redemption, I reckon. Friday night, 7:30 at the Oval. We got entry ticket, premium seating, private bar, exclusive viewing, and we'll chuck in some food and beverage. It's a Port Adelaide quiz. Go to it, 8223 0055. We will play right after the traffic.
Keep drive for a burst water main on the drive home at Paradise Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works on Main South Road near Malpas Road affecting both directions, speeds of 25. And we've got some tree pruning happening at the moment at Bedford Park, Main South Road near Sutton Road affecting both directions. Slow going at the moment, South Road near Anzac Highway. Also Nottage Terrace getting quite busy at Medindi. And we've got a camera Anzac Highway, Glenelg East. THR Developments is your one-stop shop for all high-performance car restorations, engine builds, chassis work and more. Visit thrdevelopments.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
All right, here we go. Make someone's day, Rowey. Give them tickets to the 5AA locker room.
Hello, Nick at Woodcroft.
Hey, how you going?
Okay, I reckon you'll be right with this one, and you'll love to win this. Friday night footy, Port Adelaide Bulldogs. Which power player had the most disposals in last year's prelim final loss to the Bulldogs?
Ollie Wines.
It was Ollie Wines, Nick, with 38. Bonner had 32. It was probably their best. Bokey, 24. You're off for the footy, Nick.
Beautiful.
Well done. 5AA locker room double. PortAdelaideFC.com.au/tickets on a 2-game winning streak. Friday's forecast looks great. Bulldogs off a good win. It is season on the line for both those clubs.
Yes.
This will be an absolute belter. So 35,000 plus. Surely.
And I know that Ken never likes to go in the past, but surely he will bring up that they smacked you last year in the finals.
Smashed them.
They embarrassed you in the finals.
7-2 in the first quarter.
Get some redemption.
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be a lot of redemption, but it does help.
Well, get your season back on track.
That's right. Next time you play them, you don't want to do what you did in that one, and that start poorly. And we'll take that up with Monty
Brett Montgomery next.
He's got one of the best kicks in the AFL. And each week, Crow star Brodie Smith joins Rowey's Sports Show. Thanks to ACET Couriers. Need something delivered for your business? Don't risk it. ACET with ACET Couriers.
Cars. We love them. From the 4x4 that takes you off-grid to the convertible sports model for long coastal drives. Or your pride and joy that you love tinkering on every weekend. Whatever car you love, eBay has everything you need to look after it. With Australia's widest range of car parts and accessories, all at great eBay prices, you'll find any car part you need, no matter what you're looking for. Find it, buy it, fix it on eBay. Everyone's a winner.
This is the sound of Julian's bargain price vacuum with deep express suction. This is the sound of Julian trying to fix his bargain price vacuum, which infuriates him deeply. Yes, this is the sound of bargain regret. When it comes to the important stuff, like insurance, don't risk it. Go to Amy instead, who offers great value cover you won't regret. Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by AAI Limited Trading as Amy, read the PDS at amy.com.au. TMD also available.
Have you thought about where your face mask was made? Remember, not all face masks are made the same. So when it comes to protecting yourself and your family, think PPE Tech. 100% Australian owned and made. PPE Tech manufactures P2 face masks that comfortably seal to your face and filter more than 98% of particles. Now is the time to protect all Australians and support Aussie-made products. Order online to receive up to 40% off and free delivery at ppetech.com.au. That's ppetech.com.au.
Mini Jumbuck, Australia's favourite wool bedding products. Now located in McLaren Vale, Mini Jumbuck has a great range of quality Australian-made wool bedding products to suit all sleepers and all climates. You'll love their extensive range of Australian-made quilts, mattress toppers and pillows too. And remember, Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale also stock a huge range of genuine sheepskin Ugg boots and quality merino wool clothing. For Australia's favourite wool products, call into Mini Jumbuck McLaren Vale, open 7 days.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 70% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. There's a catalogue full of prizes, but with over 70% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight and get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166.
Hi, Katie Bridges here, Market Lead at FIVEAA. Last year I participated in the Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out. It was an extremely wet one and I was certainly grateful that I could choose to do it for one night only. But it was absolutely worth it to raise funds and support the incredible work that Vinnie's do. I've signed up again this year because I care about our community, so I'm urging other business and community leaders that care to do the same. Register now at ceosleepout.org.au.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan, get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
11 minutes to 5, just before we get to Monty. Love this text from Sharon at Port Lincoln. She's in the running for the Uggs. Rowey, it's not Robbie Gray anymore. It's Robbie Great.
Oh, wow.
There's a bit of that.
Oh, he was
some
terrific.
sort of legacy.
Port, well, they scrapped out a 1-point win. They've won 2 on the trot. Joining us, Port assistant Brett Montgomery. Monty, great win. Congratulations.
Right, hi mate. Yeah, thanks very much. It was a scrap, but when you come out on top of those, it's very rewarding.
Yeah. How tough were conditions?
Yeah, they were extremely tough. It did nothing but rain the entire time we were there, really. The only time it didn't rain was game time. And I think probably to make matters just a tiny bit worse, there was a curtain raiser beforehand that really chopped the ground up. Great for the atmosphere and the spectators, but from an AFL spectacle, it really made conditions quite difficult.
St Kilda started well. God, your starts are still a drama. I look back at West Coast last week, 1 goal, 2 apiece. Blues 6-4 to 2-1. You only scored 3 points versus the Demons. Do you acknowledge internally they're a problem?
Oh, we do, mate, we do. I mean, we'd be silly not to. I think it's getting to the point now, and I'm only talking from my own personal opinion here, is that the next tactic would be to talk less about them. I think we've banged on enough. We've certainly produced enough evidence
for our players as well, and then they're acutely aware of it. The weekend was slightly different again. We're up against a really sharp around-the-ball team that are in ripping form, so hard to take too much out of the weekend, and as you would have worked out, it became really difficult to score what would have been right to the screen, which was our first quarter. So, yep, we're certainly not out of jail in the start, that's for sure, but this one was a little bit different.
Well, imagine if you could actually get that right, Monty, because the pleasing thing is, from the coach's perspective, is the want, the will, the grit, desire, the confidence of the players. They just know that if they get it right, eventually they'll run over top of them. But still, it's a bloody hard way to play your footy, isn't it, from behind?
Yeah, it's a terrible way to play. It sort of handcuffs you a little bit too, from a coaching point of view, when you're always chasing your tail and you're having to modify and change up plans if you feel the need that change is the only intervention to get you going again. So, it'd be nice to kick it off with a nice 5-goal first quarter that puts you on the front foot. But this is a week for it.
Yeah, look, stats can be deceiving, but this one was alarming, and I'd love to see how you think young Hazy's developing in the ruck, but it was 37 hit-outs to 12. They got a fair lick at it first up, Brett, and that was tough.
Yeah, no, hang on. I think my position with Hazy hasn't really changed. We've got a huge amount of belief in what he will be, but at this point in time, he's still very raw. He's raw in his athletic ability. He's raw in his strength. What he is, he's got some incredible craft when it comes to tapping the ball. And on the weekend, through his own acknowledgement, he probably got a little bit of a lesson from one of the best in craft tap work. So they double teamed him again, which is always quite difficult. So look, it was a real battle for him, but one I know he's going to learn from.
Yeah, and credit to your midfield grunt and your systems you're putting in there, because I think in the end the stoppage numbers were pretty even. That's a big tick in the box, I would have thought, for you.
Yeah, we're feeling like we've got good balance in there at the moment. I think most people have sort of worked out that we've got a slightly newer group. Obviously, we weren't looking to ship off Scotty Lysette and change the group that significantly. But with Connor Rowey coming in there and Zach Butters, Connor more so in the last 2 weeks, we feel like we've got a deeper look and probably a more balanced to play all phases look. So. Yeah, it has been a challenge losing the taps, but I think they've managed it pretty well.
Robbie Gray does what Robbie Gray does, just for those, and, he was on one leg, basically. He was close to not playing. Just paint a picture as to how his week progressed, how close he was maybe not to playing, and then he just keeps doing what Robbie does. In critical moments, he stands up.
Yeah, I think the really important thing, apart from him being probably the greatest player we ever had, is he knows what the game needs at any given time, which is, I guess it sounds quite simple, but it is quite hard to execute under the pressure. And whilst it wasn't anywhere near his biggest game, it had the quality that we needed. It wasn't a sheer weight of numbers where he got it done, but his touch was exactly where he needed it to be. He turned up where we needed him to be, and he finished when we needed him to. So, I think both coaches acknowledged that post-game. So, yeah, you're right about his preparation too. We sort of put a lot of trust in anything that comes out of Robbie's mouth, and we really didn't know whether he was going to play right up until the start. So,
wow.
Yeah, great credit again to him.
Yeah. I know it's all elementary now, but your milk run flight over 2 days to Cairns wasn't ideal. Is that the AFL's fault? Your guys internally? How come that happened?
Rowey, it's probably not something that, given the last 2 years, too many people give much thought to. Granted, it was not even close to ideal, but I just think that people are now inclined just to get on with it. Whether they've got the questions front of mind or not, I think the reaction now is just to get on with it and make the best of whatever's thrown your way. So I just saw another great example of that on the weekend.
Yeah, you did that. Should we play AFL in Cairns at night in April?
Probably not. I think that's probably where the biggest error was made. It's a great venue. The ground's incredible. But I probably haven't. That's probably my 4th or 5th trip north. I think they've all been significantly hampered by the weather in some ways. So, tough.
Yeah. You owe the Bulldogs. Will it come up this week? Friday night footy, you're off 2 wins. I think it's come around at a good time for your club.
Yeah. Look, I think I'd be lying to say it won't come up at whatever level, whether that's at player level or whether that's through the coach or just through the locker room. Not too sure. I think what it isn't is it's certainly not a revenge game by any stretch with the situation we find ourselves in. We've got to build every week and we've got to start to find some form and continually chase just wins. So I think that's the furthest thing from our mind, even though it'd be probably easy to sit back and say we owe them. We probably owe them more than one. So it comes at a good time for us. I think we are building nicely.
Beauty. Sip and Save text. This is from Rob. How bad's Mitch Georgiadis's calf? A simple one.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's certainly something he had prior to the game, and really he got 3 quarters out, so it couldn't have been too bad. He looked okay today, even though they scan just about everything these days. We'll have another look at it. But again, we're pretty confident there won't be too much there.
Okay. If he was to be out, Charlie's listed to play in the SANFL. Just bring him back, Monty. Just put him straight in the goal square. Put your arms up, big fella, and bring it to ground.
Yeah, that temptation comes up all the time. There is some genuine excitement around him just being out there again.
Good.
So, no, I think I can categorically say that won't happen, but it is great to see building up.
Congratulations on a big win. That's Hola Club. 4 points in the tin tank. All the best Friday night. It'll be a cracking game. Thanks for your time.
Good on you, Rowey. Thanks, mate.
Brett Montgomery, Port Adelaide assistant, 1 point winners. You remember the old name of game? You used to buy the VHSs of the games and you could collect them, and not sure you're getting that one necessarily to watch again, but win's a win.
But you think about
you
Port,
take that.
The last kick of the day, in front all day against the Crows in that showdown, and a ball does a vortex loop-de-doop through and they win after siren. Well, you know what? Footy gods. They get that one.
14 subs made in the round of footy over the weekend. So 14 of the 18 clubs all pulled the trigger on their sub. Will they play next week?
Sounds like Mitch will.
Sounds like he will.
Sounds like Mitch will.
So we've just been sent a photo of Tim Ginniver having some beers with some locals in Cairns. You can see that on our Twitter account. And Mark Bickley's going to join us next, who at half-time on the weekend was wishing that he was in Cairns.
Invoices.
Hooray.
But sent instantly.
Hooray.
Keeping track of payments.
What?
But managing them online instead.
What?
With Xero, it's business but better. Start your free 30-day trial at xero.com.
Going to Hawaii when half of Australia was burning was a mistake.
I don't hold a hose, mate.
Not making sure we had enough vaccines and rapid tests was a mistake.
It's not a race, it's not a competition.
No one gets it right all the time, but Morrison makes too many mistakes. Next time something goes wrong, do you trust him to make it right?
Because that's not my job. That's not my job. It's not my job to do that.
Authorised by P. Erickson, Australian Labor Party, Canberra.
Hello, Ian Henschke from National Seniors Australia. Would you work if more than half your income was taken by the government? Well, that's what happens to pensioners if they want to work more than 1 day a week. If we let pensioners work, we'd help plug Australia's workforce shortage, struggling pensioners would be better off, and the country would benefit from more workers paying their fair share of tax. It's a win for pensioners, business and Australia. Sign our petition at nationalseniors.com.au.
It is 2 to 5, Bix after the 5 o'clock news. Hey, it's not often you get to go behind the scenes of a home builder, especially one of Adelaide's top home builders. Well, I think they're the best. Well, you can at Beechwood Homes. How's this? The stunning Beechwood display home at Blackwood Parks, that's been sold, but that doesn't mean you miss out on seeing what goes on and into a Beechwood home. Call Steve from Beechwood and he'll take you behind the scenes of another Beechwood masterpiece currently under construction, or one that's been finished, like the house they built for my wife, Jodie. Just ask him, he'll bring you through. From the foundation to lock-up, you'll get an incredible insight into what makes Beechwood Homes so good, and of course, an Adelaide favourite. It truly is. Get in touch with Steve from Beechwood Homes for a behind-the-scenes tour of a Beechwood home currently under construction. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Visit beechwood.com.au.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive Officer of Western Hospital, Henley Beach. Our Western Hospital GP clinic is comprehensive and integrated into Western Hospital to serve our community's needs. Our 10 GPs all have special interests and care for you in our unique environment located within the hospital. Though our clinic is non-bulk billing, this healthcare hub caters to various needs and our patients can be referred directly to our hospital and specialists. Visit westernhospitalgp.com.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 13 with the 5 o'clock news. I'm Michaela Kamarek.
All new 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander with 10-year warranty, 10 years capped price servicing at Agostino Mitsubishi.
The Prime Minister has hinted a re-elected federal government may allow pensioners to work extra hours without affecting their benefits. As it stands, pensioners can earn an extra $300 a fortnight and keep their benefits intact. Some business believe it should be increased to allow older Australians to work a few extra days to fill staff shortages. Scott Morrison says the government will seek more advice.
It's something that we're talking to older Australians about. We have had programs, particularly during the pandemic, where we did ease those restrictions and the take-up actually wasn't that great. Those who have worked hard all their life and are on a pension or are self-funded retirees don't necessarily want to be forced back to work.
Meanwhile, federal Labor has promised to spend $200 million upgrading roads in the southern suburbs if it wins this month's election. The project would see the Marion level crossing removed and the intersections of Anzac Highway and Marion Road and Cross Road and Marion Road upgraded. It would be delivered in partnership with the new state government. Transport Minister Tom Coutson-Toner says it will remove a major blockage for locals' daily commute.
We can finish this project within the next 4 years. And that's a great victory for the people who live in this area who are stuck behind traffic between two intersections within metres of each other.
3 more people have died and we've had just over 3,000 new COVID cases in SA today. 257 people are in hospital, 15 in ICU. Meanwhile, parents are being urged to get their kids vaccinated with school returning today. Health Minister Chris Picton says only 56% of students have had their first dose.
We have, over the holidays, run a campaign to try to get people to come forward in the holidays for their vaccinations. There's been some success, but to be honest, the last few months there's been a limited number of people coming forward for their first doses.
Qantas has announced new non-stop flights from Sydney to London and New York. The company has ordered 12 new Airbus A350s to make the journeys possible. They will start operating by the end of 2025. Qantas CEO Alan Joy says they'll open up new possibilities.
So this will be for it's any city in Australia to anywhere in the world we literally can operate to. And our intent is to have this out of Sydney, out of Melbourne, out of Brisbane. We already have it our Perth. So this is a national aircraft. It will be used everywhere.
Russian troops are advancing slowly on Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. The BBC's Andrew Harding has more.
Bombs and birdsong in Lysychansk, one of several farming towns struggling to block a Russian offensive here in the Donbas region. The Russians are now inching forwards in places. Ukrainian army medics have been furiously busy collecting casualties from the nearby front lines. The Russians are making a big push to seize this whole region, but their progress is slow and haphazard, and Ukrainian forces say Western military supplies are now helping them to hold the line.
Now turning to 5AA Sport. The Crows are turning their attention to Carlton on Sunday at Marvel Stadium after their big loss to GWS. They'll be without Brodie Smith and Ned McHenry after both copped head knocks, while the Power are hoping to keep their winning run going against the Bulldogs on Friday night. And SA is set to host the Wallabies for the first time in almost 20 years. A double header has been announced at Adelaide Oval for August 27. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Complete Windscreens, the trusted South Australian name for car window tinting in Adelaide for over 40 years.
The first water main to look out for at Paradise Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Woodville Park works on Port Road near Kilkenny Road heading city-bound, one lane closed and speeds at 40. And Hectorville curbing works slowing things up today. Glenburn Road near Lewis Road heading inbound, one lane closed and speeds at 40. Busy Marion Road near Anzac Highway. And we've got cameras at Delphi Terrace, Glenelg North and Truro Road at Kapunda. Mother's Day is nearly here and Michael Hill has you covered with beautiful jewellery gifts you'll love. Plus, enjoy 15% off selected necklaces and earrings now at Michael Hill. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotaMaterialHandling.com.au.
Clear tonight, a low of 13, a late shower or two tomorrow, 23. Wednesday showers 17 and Thursday much the same, a top of 15. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
A wild car chase across Adelaide.
No! Oh no!
See our exclusive dashcam vision. A game changer for Australian travellers as Qantas announces the world's longest non-stop flights. And mortgage rates set to rise. We reveal the Adelaide suburbs that will be the hardest hit. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
After the last 2 years, we could all do with a bit of a boost. And a COVID-19 booster boosts more than just your immunity. By keeping up to date with your vaccinations, you're helping to keep businesses going.
Booking for 6? No problem.
Our social lives active.
Yeah, that was the best.
And families reunited.
No!
You're here! Give yourself a boost by visiting australia.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
This is Rowey's Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Leith Forrest.
Siren sounds and the Giants have smashed from pillar to post the Crows, home by 59 points, and a lot of questions to be answered during the week.
Robbie Gray settles himself, and Robbie Gray has kicked it behind.
He's going to win it
it's
for him.
34 seconds remaining, and Port Adelaide have hit the front. Port Adelaide win a thriller in Cairns by a point, and maybe it validates their form. Maybe they're back.
This is Rowey's Sports Show.
There is a pulse. It might not be a big pulse, but there is a pulse. Mark Bigley coming up very shortly.
Had nothing to do with that,
You were all over that.
But I did like it.
Lockie Murphy's going to join us too from the Adelaide Crows, and great news with the Wallabies coming to Adelaide. So that is exciting.
Yep.
Disappointing weekend for the Crows. The man who's going to talk all about it, Mark Bigley, is here for McGain Real Estate. If you're selling, they've got buyers ready to go right now. Sold by McGain again.
Number 26, the captain, Mark Bigley.
The Skip, Mark Bigley.
Bix, welcome.
Good afternoon, Rowey, and everyone that's tuning in.
You got a bit of cheesecake down your cheesecake?
No, I noticed there's lots of cheesecake around the place.
Well, Mother's Day on Sunday.
Oh, there you go.
Get a cheesecake. It's in a box.
Babs
Good
would
idea.
love
Hey,
cheesecake.
how bad were the Crows, or how good were the Giants?
Oh, look, I think it's always a combination of both. It's never one over the other. Now, the Giants played exceptionally, but they were aided and abetted by the way that the Crows play. The Crows gave them the upper hand early. It didn't look like they were switched on at the start of the game, and pretty much from the first 60 seconds, it looked as if the other team, the Giants, were on top and were a bit more aggressive and sharper. And also just their method around the contest. Too often the Giants got outside of Adelaide and the Giants just streamed forward. And you know, we were talking pre-game about how good Billy Frampton was last week, how Tom Doedee was coming off his man and intercept marking. Well, they didn't get an opportunity because the ball was streaming forward. Blokes like Kelly and Whitfield had time and space.
Oh, it was chiselled in.
And they just put pretty much said to the forwards, where do you want it? And they put it right on their chest. So it was a really tough day for defenders for Adelaide. 17
marks inside 50 GWS, and the Crows had 3. I want to get to that, but let's go to the source. Did they turn up? Maybe they didn't turn up. Maybe it was mental, maybe not. But the Crows were smashed at the one thing they've been good at, that was contested ball. The numbers were frightening.
Yeah. Well, at half-time, they were minus 40. Now, that is just unbelievable in terms of, if you lose for the game by 20, you normally lose by 10 goals. So to be minus 40 at half-time, and they were pretty much 10 goals down at half-time. So, yeah, look, you'd have to say they were off a little bit. The surprising thing for me, the fact that, maybe they said, oh, well, we didn't quite turn up. I think I read an interview with Ben Keys where he said maybe our preparation was a bit light. All week we heard this game here, round 7 last year, we got belted. It's not going to happen again. We are so ready for this. So it's hard to comprehend how you could then not turn up, because you've spoken about all week how you have to be ready. You have to atone for what happened last year. So, I don't know, sometimes these things happen, whether it's subconsciously, that's most likely, where you just get that feeling of comfortability. You're starting to perform to a level that is consistent and where it should be, and then you just, for a millisecond, take your eye off the ball. And at the other side on the other side of the scale was GWS, who won one game out of their first 6. So they were desperate, and they played
that way
in a desperate manner. And they have really highly skilled players. And what we saw from Josh Kelly was as good a game as what you've seen from a midfielder. 41 disposals. Just outstanding.
Killed him. I got seduced. I probably conned myself into thinking they're probably better than they are. Manny Nick spoke post-match about expectations.
Got a bit to learn still when it comes to, I mentioned expectation. There's a lot of noise around about us being favourites in this game of footy, and that comes when you're playing good footy for a period of time. You mentioned our last month had been pretty good in that area. We felt that as well. We had some belief. We felt like we were trending in the right direction. We still do. And we sat as a group post-game and talked through that, and in the end you come to are we able to deal with that expectations of being favourites?
Well, that's my fault. I said they're the best team out of the 8. I gave myself an uppercut Sunday morning.
I reckon the players could do really well in reading what Ash Barty said about expectations. I heard Ash Barty interviewed prior to the Australian Open. How are you handling the expectations of being the number 1 player in the world, playing in your home Grand Slam that we haven't, no one from Australia has won for
since 72.
40 years or something, whatever it was. And she said, I don't think about it. What expectation are you talking about? Who sets expectation? And they said, the fans, the media, the scribes. And she said, I can't control what they write or what they say or what they think. So I don't worry about anything that I can't control. Here's the expectation that I have, that I train really hard, that I prepare really well, that my mentality going into the game is outstanding, that I know what my plan is and what my opponent looks like, that when I get out on the court I give everything I have. If I do all of those things and live up to my expectations, my end of the bargain, all the things that I can control, if I still don't win, well, I just clap my hands to the person at the other end of the court and say, you're too good today. Now, I think that's the best way to look at expectations. Like, you can do nothing about whether you're favourite or not. And it still makes me laugh when people say, you're favourite today. Oh, no, we're not. We're not favourites. The other team, who cares who's the favourite and who sets who's the favourite? It's a betting agency, and it makes no difference. Just turn up, do all the things you need to do, get close to your best, and you win most times.
Take care of itself. Well, Ash clearly knew she was retiring, so had no expectation. But I like that. Crows' skill under pressure, decision-making under pressure, that last kick inside 50. I went back and watched the first quarter. No need to name it. People know. Their first 3 kicks inside 50, under no real pressure, were deplorable. How can you win a game of footy when you can't bloody kick it?
That's it.
That would frustrate Tex, would frustrate the forwards, would frustrate the coaches, and it needs to be fixed. So I want to run a few names by you. I mean, we've got a few injuries. B. Smith's out. Looks like Ned McHenry's out. I think it'll be either Wayne Miller or Hamill, both really good kickers. Would you look at Tarek Newchurch this week? Because I would. You know what? Let's have a look at him. He's got what they need.
He's got speed.
A set of bloody wheels.
Yeah, look, I've seen Tarek play against Glenelg, and I like what I saw that game. I saw the second half yesterday, and there was a couple of things in there. I think the Crows played their best footy in the first half of the South game, so only caught the second half, but they still got over the line. I think there is opportunities to do that for sure, but
have a look at the list is what I'm getting at. Now, whether Tarek gets a chance this week or not, I don't know. There's a good opportunity. But let's have a look at him now.
Yeah.
Where's Mackesy at?
Yeah, well, he actually played better yesterday. He played up forward. Yeah, kicked a couple of goals.
2 goals.
Yeah, and looked okay. But I think getting back to your point about kicking inside forward 50, this is not... You name me one player who's drafted and was a not very good kick, and then by the end of his career, he was an outstanding kick.
I'd have to be scratching my head. Let me get the book. It's the record.
I don't think there is one, is what I'm
no.
saying. I reckon the best I saw in terms of... Warren Treadray wasn't a great kick at goal when he first started, but by the end of his career, he'd worked that hard at it that he was a really serviceable kick at goal.
I think your skills improved as you went on.
Well, maybe, and they do improve, but I reckon I improved about 2% over the journey. So what I'm saying is...
Well, you're a good test case then. So you think 2%?
I reckon.
Wow.
So what I'm saying is if you want to be a better kicking team, where do you think it has to start?
At the draft pool.
At the draft pool. Now, Joshua Shelley is a very good kick, and I think Saligo looks like he's a really neat kick as well. Pedler the year before, I think, is a pretty good kick. Sam Berry, probably not in the same class as some of those other guys. So, and I think you can probably use Port Adelaide as a test case. I reckon over the last 3 or 4 years, they've had a real focus on, since Ryan Burton and Bonner, they've really gone...
Connor Rosey, Butters,
guys
Dersma,
that can kick.
They can all kick.
And I think that's what the game is demanding now. So that is one of the areas that I'd look at, and maybe that's already a philosophy they've started. And you look at the recruiting with Mitch Hinge.
But have they? Do they rate kicking? Because I don't reckon they do. I reckon they rate grunting, having a crack, winning your own ball, strong in the air, scraggers. I think Nixie's trying to build from that, and then he'll recruit that. Now, I get that. I'm not knocking that. I get that. But he doesn't... You can't tell me he rates that today. Riley O'Brien's your ruckman. Keys is your number one midfielder. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah, but it's always it's a set of scales. It's always a set of scales. Now, what Keys brings at the moment is outweighing...
But that's right.
Yeah, but I promise you, if Ben Keys drops off on his work rate and he stops averaging 10 clearances a game and he stops, getting 35 touches...
No, but you just said it. You can't teach them to be elite at their leg like a Pendlebury.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, he's still got the stuff that is outweighing the other stuff. And there are plenty of players in the AFL who aren't great kicks, and there's been plenty of them that haven't been, but they've got so many other attributes that they bring to the table that they survive. But what I'm saying is...
And Keys definitely doing
but what I'm saying is you can't be... an ordinary player, or look, Harry Schomburg is a great example. His work, when I say his work rate, his output dropped off. Instead of getting 20 touches a game, he's now getting 12. And if you're getting 12 and not kicking it very well, that's not enough. As opposed to, let's pick a Kane Farrell, for example. He might get 12, and I know they play different positions, but boy, oh boy, when he gets it, geez, he kicks it beautifully. He kicked a really important goal on the weekend.
I think they need to prioritise that.
Amon's another one, Burton's another one, and I think Adelaide have. What do you think Jordan Dawson, what's his weapon? It's his kicking. Mitch Hinge, it's kicking. So I think maybe the penny has dropped and maybe they're swinging around towards that, but I still think that has to be more of a focus.
I hope so. Thank you, Tony, for calling in. Here's Bix.
Yeah, Bix, I've just got 4 key things I'd like you to consider.
4? Can you just pick your best one?
No. 4 key things. I'll be quick. Kieran Strawn is at time that he gets a go this week at the expense of, say, a Himmelberg or a Gallant. That's the first question. Second point is, in your opinion, has Lockie Gallant got a technical problem in marking the ball in that he just puts his hands up, palm out, as opposed to going up and grabbing that ball and pulling it down in front of his eyes with intent? That's the second point. Third point, James Rowe is a skillful player. Now, Rowey, you might not want to comment, but if they're going to bring him in, Bix, do they put him on the ball? He's a smart player. He doesn't handball at the ground. He doesn't handball to a person who's going to be tackled. He puts the ball on the chest of someone who's moving with freedom. He's a smart player. Put him around the ball. But then you've got the issue of Laird, Berry, Crouch, all same kind of players, and you put James in there, who I think needs to be around the ball. And the fourth one, the last one, the critical one, do you tag Cripps with Hinge?
All right, thank you, Tony. I forgot the first one.
All right, Strawn was the first one. Can you play 2 ruckmen, Strawn and Riley O'Brien? It's a big fat no from me. The AFL is all about rebounding, and when the ball hits the deck, if you don't hold it in your area, then you just get killed on the transition.
It's one or the other. I'm ready to make that move.
Yeah, so you can't play both of them, and that is why technically you've got to get a player who is a ruckman and can play 40% forward. And that's Riley Thilthorpe in my eyes going forward. Gallant, has he got a technique issue? Look, I haven't watched it enough, But I'd be surprised if a bloke gets drafted, what it is now, 3 or 4 years ago. He's now played 3 years under the eyes of all the AFL coaches and development coaches. He's now made his way to the AFL system. I'd be surprised if he's still had a technique issue. I think he knows how to market. Does he do enough? I think his spot is in jeopardy because he just doesn't find the ball off enough. He's a 5 or 6 touch a game guy. Yep. When he kicks 2 or 3 goals, you survive on that. But the last couple of weeks, he hasn't had that output.
Tough for him.
Yeah, so he's in strife. James Rowe on ball? I don't think so. Once again, to me, if you're going to put someone on ball, put someone on there that's 6'3". Or put someone on there that's got electrifying speed, or put someone on there that is different to what they got.
Well, he's 0 from 3 there.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what I'm saying.
If you're picking, what are you saying about my goal?
I'm saying if you're picking James Rowe, he's smart. Put him around the goals because he knows where the goals are. That's what you got to do there. And the last one was around Paddy Cripps. Do you tag him with Mitch Hinge? I don't think so. I think, once again, this is an issue for Adelaide because they don't have a big-bodied midfielder. The only one you've got in the team at the moment is Jackson Hately. Yeah. And so do you put Hately on him? Hately's output hasn't been great offensively, so I don't know. Maybe it's a starting point, but I think this is a good measure of, or a good opportunity to say, okay, people have had a crack at Adelaide for not having a big-bodied midfielder. Show us how you're going to get around that because you're going to meet Bontempelli, you're going to meet Petrarca and all of it. This is going to be, the good sides are going to have those big-bodied mids. You've got to come up with a strategy. So maybe it is around the stoppage, you do something with it, and then you run them off their legs, but we'll wait and see.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate the call. We've run out of time for Lockie Murphy now from the Adelaide Crows. No, we're going to get to him after this short break. You can see Bix on Facebook and YouTube. It's all thanks to the Council of SA.
Keep your eye for a burst water main at Paradise Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works on Main South Road near Malpas Road. That's affecting both directions, speeds of 25. And Plimpton works on Anzac Highway near Charles Street as you're heading inbound. One lane close, speeds at 40. Busy Portrush Road near Glen Osmond Road. And cameras made Terrace Brooklyn Park, Middletree Road at Westlake Shore. Statewide Super is now Host Plus, an industry super fund for all Australians run only to benefit its members. That's a plus. Search Compare Host Plus today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The Skip, Mark Bickley, talks footy with Rowey each Monday night. Thanks to McGain Real Estate. If you're selling, they have buyers ready to go right now. Sold by McGain. Again.
Well, time to find out what is making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Jane Doyle to the show. And Jane, the kids are back at school.
They are, and the new Education Minister wants to learn from the previous term's experience. And masks will stay on in high schools. Cricketers were forced to run for their lives during a high-speed chase when the stolen vehicle launched itself onto the cricket field. The rescue of some of those trapped in the Maripol steel factory has been effected today. Qantas has announced that it's buying aircraft for direct flights from Sydney to London. Meantime, direct flights have resumed this morning to Bali. And in sports, still it happens. Female football umpires now have revealed the level of abuse and misogyny they're having to put up with. Great announcement for rugby union fans. The Wallabies and Wallaroos are coming to town after nearly 2 decades without a game here. And we'll hear from Cornsey tonight on why the Crows winning bubble burst. He's not happy, fair to say, the Corns man. We'll have all those details tonight at 6 in 7 News. Look forward to your company then.
Thank you, Jane. Jane Doyle and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice, 7 News tonight at 6.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 70% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. There's a catalogue full of prizes, but with over 70% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight and get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166.
What's for dinner? Coles have over 100 easy recipes for you to try, all made with 5 ingredients in 30 minutes or less. Head to coles.com.au right now to find out what's for dinner. That's value the Australian way at Coles.
Hello, Ian Henschke from National Seniors Australia. Australia desperately needs more than 400,000 extra workers, and we've got pensioners who want to help, want to work and work more. But we've got a confusing system that gives you a bonus for one day's work and penalises you more than 50 cents in the dollar after that. Make it simple, make it fair. Get rid of the pensioner work tax now. It's a win for pensioners, for business and for Australia. Sign our petition at nationalseniors.com.au.
So, why go with NRG Solar?
The solar system installed by NRG Solar has made us change our habits in relation to the use of electricity. We followed the advice to use most of the electricity, like the aircon, during the day. And so I think that's a way of forcing the prices down as well. We have solar monitoring, and I consult it most every day, and it's been very useful to see the trends.
Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Jono, where are your safety boots? In the Stariolode. Hard hat, high-vis vest? In the Stariolode. Listen, I know you're used to feeling protected in the Stariolode, but that's only useful when you're inside the van, mate. Hyundai Stariolode is the only commercial van that has both ANCAP 5-star and Platinum safety rating. And from just $47,990 drive away for ABN holders, now's a smart time to buy. T's and C's apply. Visit hyundai.com.au/offers for details. Imagine that, Hyundai.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
This is Rowey Sports Show.
25 minutes after 5, Bix is here from McGain Real Estate. Every week, the Crow Stars join us for Jama's Kitchen at Bowden. It's a casual eatery for any occasion. It's fancy made easy.
Yeah, Crows round 7, a bit of deja vu against GWS. They don't like round 7. Joining us is Lockie Murph, one of our favourites. Murph, welcome.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
I got seduced. I think I conned myself that you might be a top 8 team. You went in as favourites. We all backed you, including my co-commentator here, Bix. I got ahead of myself. Murph, did you guys?
Nah, we didn't, mate, and we don't. Everyone knows how tough AFL is. And across the board, there's 18 strong teams, and we knew the Giants were, they're as strong as any on paper, and but we simply just didn't play our way. So it was certainly not at the start, and by the time we wrestled it back, it was far too late, and it was disappointing. But as we say in footy, a week's a long time, and we get to review it this week and move on to Carlton next week.
If nothing else, it gives you a great sight about what your strengths are. Your strengths are your contested footy and your contest. Well, you went away from that, I guess, in the first half. You were minus 40 for contested possession, which is unheard of in a half of footy, and you got your right whack. So I'm sure that cements in everyone at Adelaide's mind how important it is to you.
Yeah, and we that's the barometer. That's where it starts, and we had a good review this Savo, and it was basically some clips around contest, and they went pretty at times, and credit to the Giants. As I said, they're a quality outfit and got some quality individuals, but when you're getting pumped around the contest like that in a half of footy, the scoreboard reflected, sort of our efforts in stoppage and at the contest.
So around stoppage in particular, when the ball bobbled around a bit, it looked as if they had much better balance around the contest. They had a couple in, but they certainly had a couple of players on the outside as well that they were able to feed it to. Is that something that showed up in the review? Yeah,
I mean, their hands were outstanding, weren't they? And on the bobble, they were the first to get it, and we weren't. And unfortunately, we knew that the Giants like to handball it back and then move forward from there. And when we were first on it, we weren't strong enough over the ball, and we coughed it up. And unfortunately for us, they were far too good in transitioning the ball from our cough-ups or them just getting to the ball first, and they were able to punish us.
Yeah, we talked about also particularly some opportunities in the first quarter where that connection between midfield and forward, you just butchered a couple going inside forward 50. I know every club talks about it, and it's not a strength of Adelaide at the present time. Is that something you work on a fair bit?
Yeah, we are. We're always working on that, and especially, a side where we're trying so hard, but sometimes we just need that polish, and sometimes, when we get a mark inside 50 and take 30 seconds off the clock, that can help, and we just weren't able to find that on the weekend, and we're constantly working on that with the mid sport and our high half backs. We know how important they are with ball movement in this day and age, but we're just a little bit off in that area, and if you're 2 to 3% off across the board at that level, good teams or any team can punish us the way that they did on the weekend.
How's your little compadre, Neddy? How's his head? And B. Smith, I think we read it's his 5th concussion. Were they around the club today? Have they bounced back?
If there's anyone in the world that doesn't need a head knock, Ned would be up there. So, but he's in good spirits. Yeah. they're both in good spirits. Actually, I'm actually really surprised Smithy is as up as about as what he is. But no, they're both in good spirits, and yeah, they obviously go into that protocol now. But speaking to both of them, and they're around the club today and in all the meetings and stuff like that. So I think they're both confident, with the next step. I'm pretty sure they went for a bit of a jog today.
Good.
So yeah, no, they're in good spirits, which is good, because especially that Smithy one was quite frightening at the time. But yeah, no, he's all good.
If we look ahead to Carlton, I know it's a bit early. You've just done the review, but the Samford Crows are playing some ripping footy. There's some blokes like Hamill that could step in for a B. Smith. Wayne Miller was terrific. Talk to us about Tarek Newchurch. You'd work close with him. He's a small. He's got a set of wheels. He'd have to be close, Lockie.
Yeah, mate. Tarek's been playing some really good footy this year, and I've worked pretty closely with him, just more on his defensive side of his game, and we know how exciting he is when the ball's in his hands, and he's really making some good strides. Good. And he knows what he needs to improve on and keep working on down at that lower level. But he's exciting, that's for sure. Not many can catch him, and when he's kicking 2 or 3 goals a game down there in that level, it's across the whole board, as you mentioned, Will Hamill, Mitch Hinge, Wayne Miller, Rowey. Like, there's a handful of names, which is what you need for a really strong side and a strong squad. So we're making, we're progressing well in that area.
Good. Now, what do you do off field? You still doing up caravans?
Yeah, that's all done now. I'm just finished uni, actually, which is I finished for a semester or something. That's definitely not my strong suit, but got to tick it off while you can, I guess.
What are you studying?
Bachelor of Business.
Good on you, Lockie. That's good to see.
Footy's not here forever.
No, it's not. I thought you were going to be a chippy. I was going to say Walker Crash. They do up caravans. They're a major sponsor of ours. I could have tipped you their way. They're looking for good tradies like yourself. Clever with your hands, but...
Yeah, 18 months too late. I could have used a bit of a hand. Right. Big Strawny was outstanding, but yeah, that could have been nice.
Good on you. Good on you.
Ago.
Lockie, keep up the great work. We love how you go about your footy. Redemption this week, Carlton at Marvel Stadium. That Sunday twilight. Again, a winnable game. Promise you I won't get ahead of myself. Let's hope you guys don't either, and thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me, guys.
Good on you.
Lockie Murphy there. Another player who was really good on the weekend, Josh Worrell. Last couple of weeks he's been good. He was amongst Adelaide's best, so he's that mid-sized defender. Had 27 disposals yesterday. And can I say...
Plenty to pick from.
Mention that I went down to watch South and the Crows play down at, I think it's Flinders Uni Stadium. There was a young man making his debut. His name was Kim Cantilla. Now,
yes.
The great David Cantilla, who...
Did you play with him?
No.
He's a bit older. Sorry, how old are you again?
He passed away in 1978. Just missed it. But the change rooms at Panther Park...
was 5.
The change rooms at Panther Park were named after David. He's recognised as the first Indigenous player to play in the SANFL. In his first 2 years, he won 2 best and fairest. He played state footy, of course, premierships. As I said, he was killed in a car accident on Bathurst Island. The change rooms at Panther Park are named after him. He's a member of the Indigenous Team of the Century. He's in the South Adelaide Football Club Hall of Fame. Well, Kim is a relation. I haven't been able to work out what, so if anyone knows, please pass that on.
He kicked threes, what I know.
I tell you what, and he danced around a few players, and he just looked like he had some real tricks. And I'll tell you what, it lit the place up down there. And when the last quarter, when it was really close and tight, he did a couple of special things. And if you go and watch South play, I hope that he's still playing and you get a chance to look at him, because he was something spectacular.
Wilkinson's out. He took his spot as the small forward. We're looking for a small forward in the state team. We have
maybe see if he can butter up.
Could he?
He's got a bit of
After 2 games, could we play him in the state team?
Who was the Richmond player that played in the grand final, first game?
Marlon Pickett.
Hey, Lockie Murphy was brought to us by Jarman's Kitchen at Bowden, a casual eatery for all occasions. Fancy made easy. Thanks, Lockie. Brilliant.
Indeed, and that's it for me. Thanks to McGain Real Estate. They've got families lined up waiting for new homes to be listed for sale right now. So if you're looking to sell, ask them about their McGain match strategy. McGain, sold by McGain again.
Thank you, Bix. Great to see you. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks to Tony, 26 to 6. We're going to talk Wallabies next.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamareg.
The federal opposition is promising to match the government's election pledge to expand access to the seniors' health card. 3 more people have died and we've had just over 3,000 new COVID cases in SA today. Australia Post is pleading with dog owners to make sure their pets are secured after a rise in attacks on posties. And Brodie Smith and Ned McHenry were both at Crows training today after taking heavy hits on the weekend. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Keep your eye out for a burst water main today at Paradise Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Bedford Park, tree pruning happening at the moment. Main South Road near Sutton Road, that's affecting both directions. And bus stop work slowing things up at Enfield. Main North Road near Darlington Street, speeds are reduced there. Busy Marion Road near Anzac Highway with cameras at Adelphi Terrace, Glenelg North. Military Road at Westlake Shore. Want free delivery? Shop amazon.com.au. Browse millions of items and receive free delivery on eligible orders over $39. Amazon.com.au. Easy as. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, a low of 13. Showers tomorrow, 23. Right now it's 19 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and As It Happens on 5AA.
G'day, it's Jared for Southern Mitsubishi. Thinking Mitsubishi or servicing your existing car? Southern Mitsubishi is your absolute go-to. Their state-of-the-art servicing technology and world-class quality control systems will ensure your vehicle gives you many years of hassle-free motoring pleasure. The same goes for buying a new Mitsubishi. They stock the full range, all designed to thrill. So get in touch with the amazing team at Southern Mitsubishi, 147 Main South Road, Morfett Vale, driven by Australian Motors, LVD 80.
What makes Ray White the big name in business broking? They're people, like multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year, Brett Buckley, and his team of business professionals. They take a deep dive into your business, finding value and potential, and they know what they're looking for, because they know businesses. They're not real estate salespeople trying to sell businesses, they're business people selling businesses. If you want to know what your business is worth, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA, multiple Business Broker of the Year awards.
Hey, if you're looking into a new bathroom or kitchen reno, of course you want the outcome to be spectacular. You want everyone to walk in and go, holy moly, is that magnificent or what? Or something along those lines. But what you don't want is a bunch of stumbling blocks along the way, including broken promises. No, no, no. At Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, they never make a promise they can't keep because they stand by their work. They've done it for years. They're simply the best. And in the unlikely event of a delay or something's not quite going to plan, and those things do happen, you won't find out by accident. Coxie, he's the owner, he's the boss man, or one of the team. They'll be on the phone, they'll be around your house, quick, smart, with a solution. That's the brilliance of them. It's all about the journey as well. Coxie and the entire team, look, they do go to extraordinary lengths to ensure the whole process is trouble-free. Start your journey to a stunning and worry-free home renovation with Urban Bathrooms, Kitchens, Flooring and Shutters, Adelaide's home renovation experts. They truly are. Visit byurban.com.au.
Going to Hawaii when half of Australia was burning was a mistake.
I don't hold a hose, mate.
Not making sure we had enough vaccines and rapid tests was a mistake.
It's not a race, it's not a competition.
No one gets it right all the time, but Morrison makes too many mistakes. Next time something goes wrong, do you trust him to make it right?
Because that's not my job. That's not my job. It's not my job to do that.
Authorised by P. Erickson, Australian Labor Party, Canberra.
Did you know that roughly 2.5 billion people watched Princess Diana's funeral worldwide on TV? At Simplicity Funerals, we like to keep funerals more simple, less stressful and affordable. simplicityfunerals.com.au.
Scraped your caravan? Walker Crash Repairs, an RAA approved caravan crash repairer.
This is Rowey Sports Show.
22 minutes to 6, just before we get to some very exciting news for South Australian sporting fans. Thank you to the callers who called up. So, young Kim Cantilla, who kicked 3 goals for South on the weekend, is the great-grandson
goodness me
of the South Premiership ruckman David Cantilla. So there you go.
Goodness me.
One game, lit it up.
And he's a little small forward.
And now you've got the chairman of selectors at the state team going, "Ooh, maybe we just..."
Well, I was licking my chops. We need a little small forward. Hey, the Wallabies and the Wallaroos are coming to town in August. How good is that, firstly? Our first look at the Wallabies. I think I looked at this, 18 years in Adelaide, which is great. Joining us, Rugby Australia CEO Andy Marinos. Andy, welcome. Thanks for bringing the boys and girls to town.
No, thank you, and thanks for having us. We had a fantastic day
in Adelaide today with a lot of excitement ahead of a cracking two-test series.
Yeah, tell us about it. The Wallabies are playing the current world champs, the Springboks, and the Wallaroos play New Zealand.
They are, and mate, as you said, the last time that the Wallabies played in Adelaide was back in the 2003 World Cup, where they gave the Namibians a real hammering. I think it was about 145 points to nil. So lots of celebration that day, but this is really unique. It's going to be the first of the two-match tests, or two tests against the Springboks and for the Wallabies this year, and obviously them playing against the number one ranked team in the world, and then the Wallaroos are going to be playing against the number one women's team in the world, the Black Ferns, and then that will be the last time they face them before they play them in the World Cup opener in October, a couple months later.
We haven't seen rugby union on Aussie soil for 2 years. We know it's due to COVID. It's just going to be good to have that team back, Andy. We've missed them.
No, it's going to be fantastic. And look, you guys have got the most fantastic stadium and much needed to bring rugby into South Australia. It's an important market for the future growth of the game, and I think it really ties in fantastically to our aspirations, which we'll hear in a couple of weeks' time, whether we've landed the 27 men's and the 29 women's World Cup, and that will certainly be part of the World Cup mix. And this is just a nice little precursor to hopefully what's going to be a much longer and more exciting celebration down the line.
How have you seen the Wallabies' development under our coach, Dave Rennie? They're building, Andy, they're building, aren't they?
They absolutely are. And, we had that natural attrition after 2019, change of coach. A lot of players moved on, retired or moved overseas. So, Dave came in. We've given a lot of young players a lot of good opportunity, and the team is slowly building. When you look at the performances through 2020 and into 2021, I mean, last year we had that fantastic run at home, beating the French in a three-match series, then beating the Springboks twice and the Argentinians twice. So, the momentum is there, and we certainly got very high aspirations for this team. Looking forward to a big series against England in July, and then settling into the Rugby Championship, all in preparation for the World Cup next year in France.
Well, it'll be brilliant. World Cup's number one for the World Game, in rugby union, that is. The Bledisloe Cup, I thought I'd Google and have a look how we've gone over the years with that, Andy. Our last win was in 2002. Those damn Kiwis have won at the last 19. I've had a gutful of that.
Yeah, don't worry, so have we. Absolute gutful. Absolute. And look, and this is the first year, I think, for the past sort of 6 or 7 years, it's been a three-match series, and we've gone back to a two-match series, so it makes it extra tough for us. But I think if you look at the games last year, although we lost them, we were really in the game. It was just really through silly errors and a wayward pass of an intercept in all three tests that really swung in the favour of the Kiwis. But the guys, we're confident, and we're getting some ascendancy on the field of the Super Rugby, so hopefully we can keep that up into the international game as well.
What are they doing better than us? Because that's a generation, isn't it? That 19 years. What are they doing better? It can't be just bloodlines and you're born better. I mean, our rugby union history is proud and strong and brilliant. So they've not only caught up, they've gone past us, Andy.
Yeah, they have. And look, they've just had a very acute, dedicated focus. It is the primary and the only sort of major sport in the country in the winter months. So, I mean, there is rugby league, but it's just one team. So, they've had a fair shout of all the players. We're competing with two other major winter codes with phenomenal athletes. I always say this: if we were able to take a pick of the best in the AFL, the best in the NRL, and the best in rugby union, I think the Australians could kick out a pretty formidable team. They'll probably be world beaters year in, year out. But in saying that, they've developed that. They've put a lot of emphasis and focus on their high-performance systems and structures, and they've done really well. And we've just undergone a massive overhaul of our high-performance structure and alignment, and so we're starting to see little shoots of benefit coming from that, and we're going to continue to build because, as you know, we've twice won the World Cup, Australia, and it's a very proud rugby nation, and it deserves to be back at the top of the world rankings.
Andy, we need to thank you for bringing the Springboks out too, because we've had in the past teams like Ireland, which is always great to see the Wallabies, but to have the best team in the globe is great. We would be greedy. If you could get us the All Blacks too, we'd love that. Are you aware of the rich rugby history of Adelaide, the Burnsides and the Port Adelaides and the old Collegians, etc.?
I am very aware of that, and that's part of why we wanted to just bring rugby back into the region and continue to grow it throughout the country. So it's fantastic. We've got a quality team like the Springboks coming through, and I'm sure over the next couple of years we're going to continue to see that roll through. And I think it's just testament to the infrastructure and the stadium, and it just makes it a fantastic place to play rugby. And the big challenge now is we just got to have a massive shout out to all the South Australians, all the people in Adelaide and surrounds. Let's get out en masse and get behind your team and goal, because it is your team.
They'll support that in droves.
My word.
On that, we hosted the Rugby Sevens for years too. Any chance of that returning to Adelaide?
Yeah, we're working through that with World Rugby around the World Sevens series. They're going through a bit of a shift in what the rotation and the look and feel of that competition is going to be like. So I think that's the beautiful thing we've discovered. Well, I certainly discovered is going through this World Cup process. We've got some really fantastic stadiums outside of the Eastern Seaboard that can really put their hand up and be legitimate contenders for future content down the line, which is certainly in line with our vision to make sure that this game reaches the length and the breadth of the country.
27th of August, Adelaide Oval. It's the bye round after the AFL finals, which is just perfect timing for us. So when do tickets go on sale?
They're going to be going on sale, I think, in the next 2 weeks.
Brilliant.
I stand to be corrected. And mate, the other big blockbuster with that is just our Wallaroos and our women as they prepare to go over for the World Cup later on this year. It's going to be, we've got the test matches coming up in the next 2 weeks. So that's also going to be fantastic for the first time to have them as a double header with the men. So it's going to be a flood of gold in the Wallaroos and the Wallabies.
Where are you going to sit? You're going to sit on the hill when you come to Adelaide and watch it?
I already booked my place. I just got to find the deck chair and a can of beer, and I'll be as happy as anybody in the stadium.
Well, I'll help you with the beer, Andy. Thanks for your time.
Fantastic.
Great work. Look out for those tickets on sale in a couple of weeks. 27th of August, Adelaide Oval. Time to be confirmed. It's the perfect weekend because it's after the AFL season, that bye round. What happens in that bye round? It's as boring as bat droppings.
Yeah.
So the Wallabies are coming to town and the Wallaroos. Let's support them.
Absolutely.
Green and gold.
There is a great rugby union history in this town. There's a lot of South Africans in this town, so that will get people through the gates. But this is what we cry out for.
We
so
do.
Don't whinge and moan that the other states, there's a big push to get Premier League teams here because they're going around the coury and we don't have them here.
I'll have a Bundy and Collar up on the hill with Andy.
Support the Wallabies against the Springboks. How good would that be?
It's a great game. And this will be a high-quality game. Springboks are the world champs, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
So again, support this. We can twist Andy's arm when you're up on the hill with him, having a couple of beers, and bring the All Blacks here as well, because there's probably more Kiwis than South Africans here.
Well, you drink Bundy with the Wallabies, not West End Draft.
Okay. Well, when in Rome,
I'll have one in each hand.
Cheesecake in one hand, Bundy in the other.
Oh, beautiful.
13 minutes to 6. Last shout on the way. Here's what's happening on the roads for your drive home.
At Paradise burst Watermain Gorge Road near Avenue Road. Aldinga works a main south road near Malpas Road. That's affecting both directions, speeds of 25. And Bedford Park tree pruning happening on Main South Road near Sutton Road. It's affecting both direction, one lane closed there as well. Busy Marion Road near Anzac Highway with cameras May Terrace Brooklyn Park and Adelphi Terrace at Glenelg North. Send mum to Cloud9 this Mother's Day with a Blue Lagoon float and spa voucher. You could win a salt lamp worth over $1,000. Visit bluelagoonfloatandspa.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show Mystery Moments.
Yeah, thought we'd forgotten, hadn't you? $450 could be yours thanks to the Barreau Hotel Group for this month only. Main course lunch, half price at the Excelsior. $450. Rex Hunt, Heart Pills. What's the moment? 8223 0055.
Sunday nights from 7, join Sean Fuster with his partner in crime, Daniel Panozzo, for Just Lawful, the Adelaide crime stories that will leave you stunned. Thanks to Crime Stoppers SA and Police Credit Union, supporting better communities. crimestopperssa.com.au.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easy for property investors and the tenants of their properties. Everyone is treated with integrity and respect. That's the Lynn Andrews way. For commercial and residential property management, we are here to help. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 70% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in Henley Beach. There's a catalogue full of prizes, but with over 70% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight and get your tickets today at homelottery.com.au. Licence M141166.
So as you know, during these challenging times, it's nice to reflect on family and especially our mums this coming Sunday with Mother's Day. You can show your appreciation and keep mum warm this winter by giving her a pair of beautiful, handcrafted, cosy, super comfortable Ugg boots from Uggs to You.
Go to Uggs to You, get the Ugg boots, then duck down the road, get a cheesecake. You'll be top of the tree.
We have driven past Uggs to You when you went to the footy at Amy Park for years and years. They got a wide range available, many styles and sizes, colours and wholesome prices. Remember, Uggs to You, proud South Australian small business making their handcrafted Ugg boots on the premises using the A-grade Australian sheepskin. You got to pop in. They're Western Suburbs characters, Mary and Vlas. Talk about the footy, talk about anything.
Vlas will be a bit flat this
He's
week.
very flat. You'll love it, though.
So cheer him up.
Get in before Mother's Day, and if you spend $100 in store, you'll receive a free can of waterproofer spray valued at $20, but that's only while stocks last. Support local this Mother's Day, this coming Sunday. Shop at Uggs to You, manufacturers of superior Australian Uggs. They are located 235 Frederick Road at Seaton. So you come off Grange Road, straight down Frederick, right-hand side. Cannot miss them. Uggs to who?
Uggs to You.
Hello. Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles May Mayhem Spend and Save is on now. Yes, National Tiles May Mayhem Spend and Save is on now. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Yes, our famous National Tiles May Mayhem Spend and Save is not to be missed. But you'll have to be quick. For full details, go to nationaltiles.com.au now and save. Conditions apply.
Find everything you need to know for this federal election in The Advertiser. Get digital access for just $1 a week for the first 12 weeks. Minimum cost $4. Conditions apply. Subscribe before you decide. Search The Advertiser offer now.
You Installer Kitchen's Mayday Super Sale is on this week only with 20% off everything. Make your project ideas a reality with custom-sized pre-assembled quality cabinetry delivered to your door. Measure up, sketch your floor plan, then head into a showroom at Modbury, Glandore, Norwood, Lonsdale and Churchill Centre, or try our 3D planner online. Don't miss 20% off everything at You Installer Kitchen's Mayday Super Sale. Till this Saturday only. You Installer Kitchens, the complete DIY kitchen solution. Conditions apply.
Walker Crash Repairs. For easy insurance repairs on your caravan. Get it fixed right with Walker Crash Repairs.
This is Rowey's Sport Show, the 5AA Sport Show Mystery Moments.
Bring me the hard pills! Hard pills for $450.
Let's go to Old Ranella. Hello, Ray.
Hello, Stephen and Lee. How are you?
Give us the moment. Give us the moment.
I reckon it might have been the preliminary final where Tony Lockett lining up against Essendon.
Oh, goodness, we've had that one, Ray. Sorry. You get a $50 Barreau Hotel Group voucher. You will absolutely love that. Get down to the Albion, the Excelsior Hotel. Their main course meals are just to die for. And it's $500 tomorrow.
$500 tomorrow. Can I just say, solid guess.
Solid guess. Was it?
Yeah, it was a solid guess.
Okay. Hello, Andrew.
G'day, Rowey. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. You want to talk about female umpires?
Well, not just umpires. I run a kids' soccer business, and look, I have lots of coaches on board, and about half of them are female. They do a fantastic job. I think this is really unfair where these opinions are coming from, and what the females are exposed to, especially in the junior ranks where I do a lot of work. It's I'm truly of the opinion it's not who's doing it, it's how the decisions are made, and it forms a lot of, I suppose, opinions that the kids have as they're growing up, and the way they look at people and decision makers in their life. When they are more grown up and more mature to accept decisions and who makes them.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, every game isn't a game unless we've got umpires.
Correct.
And here's me saying that, Andrew. I've got to get better. I let the emotion sweep me up, but I can guarantee you this. I've watched a lot of netball for my 2 daughters, and I've watched a lot of soccer and football with my son. I have never been a parent that has yelled out once, not even once, to an umpire or to an opposition or to one in your team. I just sit there and watch. Now, you can show emotion with your wife and the kids and that. You can honk the horn and, get excited with it. But more parents just need to just zip it and button it, let the refs do their job.
They are 6,000 umpires short. And I hope he doesn't mind me speaking out of school. So I spoke to Matthew Dolding about this last night.
Thanks, Henry.
Because we had our first game of footy over the weekend and just asked him, just out of interest, how has it gone? A couple of clubs were checked and said, hey, control yourself. It's round 1. Everyone's very excited. Everyone's passionate, wanting to do a good job. But you just got to respect the umpires, because otherwise we don't have any, and then we don't have a game.
Yeah,
you're all sides. So respect the umpires, not too hard.
The last shout.
Let's do this. On this day, 30 years ago, Hawk great, and he was, Jason Dunstall, kicked, wait for it, 17 goals v Richmond. It was a record in the modern era. There's no real audio of the game because they didn't call every single game. But here's Channel 7's Dennis Cometti and around the grounds.
In the other game, Hawthorn massive winners against the Tigers, 25-22, 172 to 14-9-93. What sets that game apart is the performance by Jason Dunstall, a club record 17 goals, falling just 1 short of the league record this afternoon. The previous best by a Hawthorn player was Peter Hudson, 16, against Melbourne back in 1968.
Yes, Dennis, that's number 1 from that. It was round 7, 1992, and there were highlights. In the end, we ended up finding them. If D. Jarman did lace him out 10 of those 17, I'll eat my hat. 17 goals. So I think about today, they average about 2 goals a game. Taylor Walker's career, 2 goals a game. Hawkins, 2 goals a game. It's going to take 8 rounds to kick those goals.
17.
17!
You know the other big takeaway from that was this theme.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just roll it under everything we do from now on.
Would we be allowed to?
Probably not.
Would that be copyright?
Probably.
Can everyone remember this? You used to hear that, and your ears used to be switched on. Right.
Yeah, here it comes.
Here it comes. Lee.
Oh, that's great. If you're watching the live stream, Facebook and YouTube, you can see Rowey.
Who was it for? 7 or 9?
7. Channel 7.
Channel 7 was too. And then Dennis Cometti would come on with those golden tonsils.
Sandy Roberts, Peter Landy, Ian Robertson.
They don't build... Sports commentators now are crap compared to that era. We are useless.
Hello to all
those
our colleagues.
Who?
Hello to all of our colleagues. Sam, before we go,
I'm
at 6
putting
o'clock.
myself in that category. Why are you looking like that?
Melbourne
Don't
Footy
put yourself
Club.
on a pedestal, Leith. You're just as bad.
Really want to do a big shout out for the Melbourne Footy
And
Club.
Sam's
Moving
coming
on.
up. He's the next one.
That's right.
I mean, fair
They
dinkum.
are doing a great thing, the D's, this season with the Indigenous round. Rounds 10 and 11. They will be rebranding their team to Naarm Football Club.
I did read that.
How good is that? It is showing heritage or appreciation, acknowledgement to their Indigenous ancestors and the land that they come from and that they're based on. So that is an absolutely
For that
brilliant,
whole week.
For that whole Indigenous round, 2 weeks.
So Naarm is Indigenous for
Naarm
Melbourne.
Football Club.
So, question from Without Notice. Did the Adelaide Crows change their name to Ghana? To Port Adelaide? Is it Port Ghana? Is that inappropriate or is that applicable? I'm not sure, because Ghana is the Indigenous land that we are on.
Yes.
Is there some way that our local clubs could do it?
Well, we need somebody that can speak the native tongue to translate it for us, and then we can make that call. Otherwise, I'd be just clutching at straws.
Correct. We'll do a bit of research.
But you know what? I think the AFL on the back of this should make a judgment call.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's 18 clubs. Boom. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
And the Crows have done
You don't want to force it down people's throats.
No, Crows and Port Adelaide, I think, have both had Indigenous language in their songs before too.
Yes, they have.
Indigenous
No,
round,
Port
which is
Adelaide
good.
had their song.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah, it was good.
Very quickly,
No, well
Monty's
done.
happy birthday to the great Brian Lara, average 52 in test, just a high score of 400. Happy birthday to the great man, the Prince, 53. Jodie Rose, best friend.
Yeah, still waiting for him to return a call for a...
Happy birthday, Brian. Sports Day, John Blake next.
Good on you, too.
Have you been putting off your life admin? Sorting out your wardrobe can wait, but sorting out your will shouldn't. At Morris Blackburn, our expert lawyers make setting